to the bold analysis. A High Court 3-bench judge in Nairobi has issued a court verdict that is likely to rattle two politicians in Kenya Kwanza. And this is Moses Masika Wetangula and Kimani-Ichung'wa. A 3-bench judge declared that a decision that was made by Moses Wetangula in September 2022 that Kenya Kwanza is the majority in the National Assembly was wrong, and has asked the Speaker to rectify that so that Azimio la Umoja is declared as the majority party in the National Assembly. This decision is also attracting another, the same court sitting is also saying that Wetangula cannot work as the Speaker and at the same time the party leader of Ford Kenya, citing conflict of interest and illegality in that, and of course being able not to act partially, being that he still serves as the party leader of a political party. Members of Azimio One Kenya coalition in October 2022 contested the decision by Wetangula, and I remember us in this channel really analyzing that, because what happened here is after the general election, Kenya Kwanza adopted 14 members of parliament from Azimio side so that they can achieve majority. And according to Wetangula, Kenya Kwanza had 179 members, while Azimio had 179. But if you do the calculation, you'll realize that some members were adopted from Azimio due to a pre-election agreement that was signed by the parties. But then, by the time Wetangula was declaring that move, the decision that Kenya Kwanza is the majority, of course they needed to have the majority leader, they needed to have the majority of the leadership. They had already adopted, or rather bought, some members of parliament from the Azimio side. He further observed that several parties aligned to Kenya Kwanza shifted allegiance post-election. 12 Kenyans filed this petition, arguing that Azimio One Kenya was actually the majority. Now, these judges, Jaras Nga, Justice John Mwigwimi, and Justice Mugambi, agreed, saying that Wetangula lacked sufficient evidence to make the determination that Kenya Kwanza was actually the majority. Ladies and gentlemen, the parliament is run by both, the leadership of the parliament is anchored on both majority and minority leader positions. These seats were organized, and this declaration affects these two areas. Number one, the question on then who is supposed to be the majority leader. If this decision is to be upheld, and if not challenged, because I understand the government is going to challenge, then Kimani-Ichung'wa should not serve as the majority leader, and the Azimio side, the ODM side, should actually pick the majority leader. Consequently, there's some parliamentary committees that are preserved, the leadership, the chairman and the vice chair of some very critical parliamentary committees are supposed to be held by the majority side. So the determination by Wetangula was made so that the UDA would actually take critical parliamentary positions, committee positions that are held by the government. Now, this is going to affect those areas. A question: will Wetangula cease to be the speaker and choose to be Ford Kenya party leader, or he will actually pick the speaker and drop the Ford Kenya party? Very interesting political intrigues going on. But this is coming at a time, just days after Parliament convened, and the parliament is supposed to resume sessions next week after the 2 months recess since December, and they're supposed to resume sessions. So it's very critical. So I saw a reaction. I want us to look at a reaction from one of the MPs, Bernard Kitur, the Nandi Hills Member of Parliament, that issued a statement saying, and there have been a target, and that is one of the context I want us to pay attention to. And he issued a statement saying that the leadership of the budget committee needs to be changed so that it can have representation from other members of parliament from other parts of the country. Listen to Bernard Kitur.
The time has come we look at that particular committee so that it needs to be dissolved, and let us have a representative members from every county in this country, or a few counties that have regional challenges, that have development challenges, being represented in that committee, so that every part of this nation can be able to have their fair share. Secondly, the leadership of those committees needs to be dissolved, particularly the one for budget, because those who are managing that budget committee have continued to perpetuate an inequality in the distribution of the budget of this country. So kwa hivyo mimi naomba kwamba kuwe na mabadiliko katika kamati zile ziko bunge, haswa lile la bajeti. Na hilo la bajeti tutafute mtu ambaye atakuwa fair, sio mwenye anaendelesha create inequality in our country. Wacha tuwe na representatives kutoka sehemu tofauti tofauti katika bajeti hilo. Sio kwamba unapata jamii moja wamejaa katika hiyo bajeti, kwa hiyo kamati ambayo ndio hapo kila kitu inakawanywa ya nchi hii. So kwa hivyo kutoka Nandi Hills, sisi tumesema kwamba tunataka hiyo budget committee ikuwe na representatives, na wale viongozi wako pale wote watolewe. Leteni wengine who are going to be fair in how the revenue and the national cake will be distributed in this country. Umekubaliana na mimi, sio? Kwamba kuwa na usawa katika, ama tutafute mtu ambaye ataleta usawa kwa njia ambayo bajeti ya nchi hii inavyopelekwa. Sio mtu mmoja peke yake anaamua ni nani anapewa programs hii ama yule anapewa programs hii. Na these programs, as I said, from time immemorial, it has to come from executive. Sio kwamba legislature peke yake ndio inaamua kila kitu. Unapata wabunge wote wanapanga laini kwa mbunge mwingine mmoja kuomba projects. He becomes everything. Wewe mmoja tu unaenda unaomba kazi, ni wewe mmoja. Mbunge mwenzangu, abana, hiyo nayo itakoma. Hiyo itakoma. Wacha kuwe bajeti inatengenezwa, sisi tunakuja kupitisha baada ya kuisoma vizuri. Lakini sio kwamba bajeti kila mwaka nenda, mwaka rudi. Ni bajeti inaenda sehemu moja ya nchi hii, wanapata mabilioni ya pesa, sehemu zingine hawapati hilo. Na ukifika pale kwa bajeti ni watu kutoka sehemu moja wamelimbikisiwa pale ndani. Ndio mimi nimeomba kwamba kuwe na mabadiliko, so that we bring people who are representative of various regions of this country being represented in the budget committee.
But consequently, of course, that was targeting only Ndindi Nyoro. There had been this obsession by the government side to change the leadership, and Ndindi Nyoro has been on target, that because he's not supporting government, he needs to be shown the door. But also look at a reaction from Peter Kaluma. And this is why sometimes I have a lot of issues with toxic sycophancy. I want you to look at this toxic sycophancy. They think they can cause us fight. No one will not fight. No, we will not fight. Instead, we will use this opportunity to embrace even tighter. To this end, we will reorganize all committees and share membership and leadership of the big committees in a more just and fair manner, starting with committees chaired by Rigathi Gachagua MPs. Of course, one of the targets has been the MPs that are supporting Rigathi Gachagua. they've been under threat that they're going to lose those positions. So this, however, look at Pondo Kaluma's, Peter Kaluma's tweet. For him, Azimio was fighting. It is Azimio who went to court challenging that position that they're the majority. Now, after that is granted, instead of then embracing it, they're now saying someone wants them to fight. And one of the interesting questions is this. If my memory serves me right, Azimio, not Azimio, ODM has been saying they want to support the government. So if this thing is going to change for them to take those positions, why should they say someone wants them to fight? Who is this that wants them to fight? And is it not that ODM and UDA are in some political mongrel of an agreement? What has changed that now saying someone wants you to fight? I think if ODM has been honest, the MPs are honest that they support Ruto administration, then the best they should have done, as we talk now, is probably to ensure that they just take up those positions that are held majority. In fact, Kimani-Ichung'wa should not hold the majority leader position. It should be given to Junet so that Junet can defend government well. Because majority, minority ordinarily is sitting on the other side. So the link between the majority, between the executive and the parliament should be the majority leader. And so Junet should take that position so that Kimani-Ichung'wa is given minority, so that ODM gets time and the resources to defend the government. Azimio should actually take its rightful place. They were fighting for it. So things should not have changed. But let me tell you, there is a strategic scheme for Raila Odinga MPs to take these committee positions, especially the ones that are held by Mount Kenya MPs. And that is what Pondo Kaluma is saying. And I want to tell you, what the state mandarins have confirmed is that ODM joined Kenya Kwanza administration as vultures. I don't know whether I'm using the right, vultures or something. Why? The government knows that ODM will take anything that is available to them. If you tell them want to give this position, they will take it. They will not ask why. Because if those who are given cabinet positions, there are MPs that now align around them singing praise and worship for them, that has been seen. And then the target has been very clear that they want to take those positions. And what is most likely going to happen is this. This fight about, this fight that Pondo Kaluma is talking about is actually a fight that is going to be fought by someone wants to create that enmity between the Raila's MPs, the ODM MPs, and the Mount Kenya one. That is one of the secret scheme that is in that move. Because I want to tell you, this case has been lying in court for some time. Some of these verdicts don't just come. The other issue is President Ruto would be mooting a scheme to change Kimani-Ichung'wa. After Gachagua, someone said the next in target is Kimani-Ichung'wa. And Kimani-Ichung'wa position, probably it needs to go to the new friends that the president is having, so that the president will even take it to Northeastern or probably Western Kenya. The other issue is to divert the attention of the parliament on critical bills in the budget making process. Quite a lot is going on. Immediately parliament resumes, parliament should be able to meet and look at the IEBC bill, a reconstitution of the IEBC. It should be a priority to the parliament, and it should also be matters that are really critical to the stability of the country, and even the matters of abduction. So this part of infighting is a scheme that has been hatched well because of Pondo Kaluma's are really eyeing those positions. Thank you.